Most home buyers in Germany forget at least 3 major costs when signing the contract. And by the time they find out, it is already too late. And I can almost guarantee you don't know them either. And they would catch you by surprise too. Imagine saving for years to buy your dream home only to realize you cannot afford it because of costs nobody told you about. To make sure this doesn't happen to you, I'll show you all the hidden costs of buying a property in Germany, so you can plan ahead and avoid the most expensive mistake of your entire life. The first hidden costs are the Kaufnebenkosten, the extra costs on top of the property price. These usually add up to 10 to 15% of the property price, and banks often won't finance them. So you'll need to cover them with your own savings. The biggest part is the real estate transfer tax, or Grunderwerbsteuer in German. Depending on the state, this ranges from 3.5% here in Bavaria all the way up to 6.5% in states like Brandenburg. On a 400,000 euro home, that's up to 26,000 euro gone before you even get the keys. Then come the notary and land registry fees. Both are legally required, both are set by law, and together they add up around 2% of the purchase price. And finally, the real estate agent commission. If one is involved, expect another 3% to 7%. The good news, this fee is negotiable, at least in theory. All in all, Kaufnebenkosten can easily cost you tens of thousands of euros on top of the property price, and you'll need that money in cash. The second hidden cost is financing. These are all the extra fees that come with your mortgage beyond the interest rate, and they can add up quickly. First, the Grundschuldbestellung, the registration of the mortgage at the notary. We already talked about notary and land registry fees, but this step adds even more. It's the legal security your bank needs, and it usually costs around 0.5% of the loan amount. Second, Bereitstellungszinsen, or commitment interest. They kick in if your loan is approved, but you don't use it right away, which often happens with new constructions. After a free period of usually 6 to 12 months, banks typically charge 0.25% per month on the unused loan. That can get very expensive if your property is delayed. To avoid this trap, book a free meeting with us right here. We'll help you find the best bank in Germany and save you thousands. And third, miscellaneous loan fees. Some banks still charge for account management, property valuations, or even copies from the land register. These may sound small, but together they can cost hundreds or even thousands of euros. So don't just compare interest rates, find the right bank that will save you a lot of money on these hidden financing costs. The third hidden cost is expert reports. Hiring an independent expert might sound optional, but in reality it can save you from a massive surprise later on. If you're buying an existing home, a building inspector can uncover problems you would probably miss. Things like moisture in the walls, roof damage, outdated electrics, or even asbestos in old materials. These issues can easily cost you tens of thousands of euros if you discover them too late. A professional inspection usually costs a few hundred euros up to 1,000 euros, but compared to the risk, it's money well spent. If you're building new, it's also smart to bring an independent expert during construction. They can check the quality of the work, attend the handover, and make sure no expensive mistake is hidden behind fresh paint. Even a soil report before construction is critical. Without it, unstable ground can create huge extra costs. And don't forget the energy advisor. Especially if you plan a renovation, they can help you access government subsidies, like the new KfW 458 subsidy, where you get up to 70% of eligible costs. So yes, experts do cost extra, but they can easily save you many times their fee if you use them right. The fourth hidden cost is renovation. This is especially important if you're buying an older property, because the purchase price is only the beginning. In Germany, there are even legal modernization requirements. If you buy an old house, you might have to replace outdated oil or gas heating by law under the new building energy rules. And you only get 2 years after purchase to complete this work. Ignore it and you risk hefty fines up to 50,000 euros. Then there are hidden damages, moisture, mold, asbestos in old tiles or outdated electrics and plumbing. Or even worse, illegal constructions or extensions, so-called Schwarzbauten. If the authorities find them, and they will, you may face costly approvals or even demolition. Renovation costs add up fast. A new heating system alone can cost 15,000 euros and the full renovation often 500 to 1,500 per square meter, which means hundreds of thousands of euros for a typical house. And that's why it's so important to budget for renovations in advance. The fifth hidden cost is moving. And while it may sound obvious, most buyers completely forget to budget for it. Hiring a moving company can easily cost 2,000 euros or more, depending on distance and effort, and once you're in your new place, chances are you'll need new furniture, curtains, or maybe a brand new kitchen. And the kitchen alone can easily cost 10,000 euros or more. On top of that come the utility connection fees. Setting up electricity, water, internet or gas usually adds another few thousand euros, especially if you're building new. So while moving may feel like the smallest part of the process, it can still cost you tens of thousands of euros extra. Before we come to the one that will really shock you, hidden cost number 6 is operating expenses. Buying the property is one thing, but keeping it every month is another. These costs come in 2 categories, fixed and variable. Fixed costs include the annual property tax, waste collection and insurance. Property tax alone can run several hundred euros per year, depending on your municipality. Home insurance is another big one, usually 200 to 700 euros a year for a single family house. And if you own an apartment, you'll also pay the monthly Hausgeld for administration and reserves. Variable costs depend on your consumption, things like water, heating and electricity. Heating alone can easily be 200 to 400 euros a month for a typical house, and electricity adds another 100 to 150 euros. And these costs are often much higher in older, poorly insulated homes. And then there are the maintenance costs. Every roof, heating system or bathroom eventually needs replacing. A good rule of thumb is to set aside at least 1% of the property value per year. For a 400,000 euro home, that's 4,000 euros every single year. So don't just calculate the purchase price, your property will keep costing you money long after you move in. And the 7th hidden cost is selling. This often catches people completely by surprise because you only notice it when you want to get out. The first one is the prepayment penalty or Vorfälligkeitsentschädigung in German. If you pay off your mortgage early, before the fixed interest period ends, the bank can charge you a hefty fee. Why? Because they lose the interest income they were counting on. And depending on your loan size and remaining term, this penalty can be tens of thousands of euros. The second one is the speculation tax or Spekulationssteuer. If you sell a property within 10 years of buying it and you haven't lived in it yourself, any profit you make is taxed as income. That means if you sell an investment property after 8 years with a 100,000 euro gain, up to 42% of your profit goes straight to Finanzamt. Remember, buying a property is not just about the entry costs, but also about the right exit strategy. And if you want to know how you can save taxes along the entire way, watch this video right here. Thank you for watching und bis zum nächsten Mal.